Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are getting into Clionadh Cosmetics. And these are all multi-chrome eyeshadows of different formulations. Some are part of the classic jeweled formulation, some are a little hybrid, some are a little more glittery than others. I am very excited to swatch these with you and try some of them out on my eyes. These three are the original that I had on the bottom here. I'll be going over those a little bit later, but we're going to start out with these first three row, and this is the all-star bundle. If you're curious, you can order all of these 10 shades as a bundle on Cleona's website. So we're going to get into all the details. I'm very excited. Just a note about ordering with Cleona if you're not familiar. Cleona is an indie brand based out of Toronto, Canada. I love Cleona. Their quality, their formulations are impeccable. I would say they're among the top tier of all multi-chrome formulas out there. And I am never disappointed with them, especially after pre-swatching these before this video. I will never question, Cleona's quality because they've maintained their consistency even with their newer sort of different hybrids and different types of multi-chromes that they've come out with. They're all really beautiful. So I have the All-Star bundle and I ordered it December 18th, 2020, and they have been coming out with several different types of bundles for a long time, but they have more varieties now and different formulas and multi-chrome bundles now, kind of all grouped together. And I wasn't really sure which bundle to get, but I'm glad I picked this one, the 10 shades, because I think that a lot of these are like pretty popular and, best-selling shades. So I was like, okay, they're probably good, and they certainly are. The only thing I will note is that, as you may know already, because they're an indie brand, they do take a while to ship, and we're talking months. And depending on where you are in the queue of orders, you just will never just expect that it's going to take a while and there's going to be delays, and you may get a quote on how many weeks it should take. It will probably take longer. And I think what Cleona has done to improve this process is now they start posting on their social media and on their website which order block they're working on now. And they will update it, continuously throughout the weeks as to what block they're on. And when you know your block is up, you should be getting a shipping confirmation soon. So that really told me like where they were at in the process and where my order was in the process. And so I ordered on December 18th and I got my order to my house February 18th. And I am not like the last of I think I was the last of like the regular orders, and then they also had like pre-orders or something like that where like if you bought something that was like somewhat, I don't know what the deal was, but if you bought something that wasn't quite in stock yet and you had a pre-order, then you were like bottom of the list. So I was at the bottom of like the regular orders, and so that took 2 months. And then I think right after I got my shipping confirmation, they had to shut down the shipments because somebody got COVID. So I don't know what their status is now, if they started shipping out again at this point. But they are hiring, they've hired more people. They now let you know like where they're at with the order, so you don't have to like contact them or anything. Of course you still can, but I didn't feel the need to be like, hey, where's my order? Because I knew I was like at the very last of the block. So I guess when I ordered that day, when they like said they were, relaunching or whatever, I guess I was late because I was like last in queue, which is fine. Whatever, I got them. Everything came bubble wrapped. They all come individually in these sleeves. So I got 10 of these. And everything was bubble wrapped. Everything came in one piece, nothing broken, nothing shattered. I've never had any issues with Cleona in getting my stuff all in one piece, nothing broken. And yeah, I'm happy with the All-Star bundle. I think if you don't know what to get from this brand, trying out a bundle is a good idea. I'm just gonna put that out there. All right, so let's get into swatches. Just so you guys know, cost, like, yes, they're gonna quote you a shipping time, like it's gonna take this long to process your order and then it's gonna take this long to ship. They give you, like, I don't know, I think they probably are within range by saying 2 months. Yeah, it's gonna take 10 weeks or whatever, but it's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, we give them a lot of slack. You know, anyone that buys from indie brands give these brands so much slack, but they have a lot of orders. People want their stuff, so I mean, we put up with it. So this for 10 shades was $178, which I believe is a deal. Like, otherwise I would have just picked out individual shades. So 10 shades for almost $200 is a lot, but these are really special. Like, these are high quality multichromes, and these are not shades most people are going to use every day. I don't want to say everyone. So they're probably going to last you longer than you think. I've had these a couple years, and like, I've barely gone into them. So I feel like, because you know, they're for a specific look. I'll just say that. And some of these are super glittery, so I'm not going to be able to wear them every day, but they are like so pretty. I remember when I first watched this, like last week when I got this, I felt like I wish I had this as a little girl to play with, even though I shouldn't, because, you know, I would ruin it and they're so expensive. But these are like, remind me of like such amazing, like, creative, like, forms of art. Like, if I was a finger painter, I would want to use these to finger paint because they're just pretty. And like, as a little girl, I would love these colors. They're like princess colors, I guess I would describe them as, because they're so rich and beautiful. So let's just get into swatches. So I'm going to go in order of their picture online. So they have swatches on Cleona's website when you click on our All-Star bundle. And it goes from Forge to the left and then Oculus all the way to the right. So I'm just going to go in order of the picture. And we're going to go left to right, top to bottom, so you guys can kind of follow along. So Forge is our first one here. And these definitely feel different when you swatch them. They are a metallic-y metal feeling. But the shift on these guys is just, it's too good. And they're bright and they're shiny. They're not dull. The quality is just unmistakable. So this one is very green, but also kind of purple. I think people have compared this to the Pat McGrath's Extraterrestrial on the Divine Rose 2 Mothership palette. This one is more vibrant, though. Very pretty. So that's Forge. And then we have Opulent right here. Gosh. This one feels like a different formula, a little less metallic-y. And I'm not going to tell you which formula each individual shade is because, ooh, that's going to be a challenge and hard for me to keep track of. But that is Opulent, the second shade here. And ooh, that is shiny, pink, and silvery and pretty. And it's got some duochrome in here. I say this is like More of a duochrome, but like a super shiny one. So it's, I could see why, you know, you would classify this as a multichrome, but it is more on the duochrome shine because it's a lot of pink and purple and very shininess, but super pretty. Next we have Royalty, which is this purple guy here, Royalty. Also, what I love about Cleona is how compact the shadows are, that I can fit all these in the small palette. They are puffier, a little taller, but I love their compact shape. Okay, Royalty is right here, and oh yeah, this is one of those princess shades. This is like a purple and green, very shiny shade. This is like a duochrome plus, right? Like, you've seen this shade in lots of different eyeshadows, but probably not one this shiny. And I apologize for the goosebumps. I can't really wear sleeves because I'm swatching. But look how nice that one is. Just very pretty, pretty, pretty princess. Alright. I could just stare at these all day. The next one we have is Luxe, which is this white shade here. And it definitely has some other tones going on with it. So this is Luxe. And look how shiny that one is. Ooh, it's got some green, some purple, a really shiny, fun topper. There's not a lot of color behind it, even though it looks white in the pan. It's pretty see-through, but it has so much shine to it. I mean, you have to appreciate that, right? So that is Luxe. In the swatch, it looks very yellow and gold and green online. But I see a lot of purple and green in this light. Somewhat of a gold, I suppose. Alright, moving on to our next row. We have Carving right here. Another purpley shade. This guy right here is really pretty. Definitely a different one for me. I don't think I have a shade like this one in my collection because it looks kind of, I don't know, purpley, fuchsia pink, pinkish brown. And then it moves to purple and then also green. But also looks kind of grungy. I love this one. Carving. This is such a pretty shade and unique. Very, very cool. Also, what I love about Cleona is how unique and different their shades are and how vast their variety is. It's like an impressive collection. The only thing is they're not always in stock. They take forever to ship. But when you do get the color you want, it's like, oh boy, it's exciting. I mean, very pretty there. I will note, you know, swatching, being up close to all these, you see how shiny and reflective they are. That stuff does get everywhere. So you got to be careful about little drippings and fallout and just powder. Like, there's going to be glitter. Just got to be aware of that. Vermilion, which is a more of a pinkish gold shade. Super smooth, super pretty. Vermilion. Wow, look at that. That is like, there's a lot of shades that try to duplicate this, like this pink to gold to green. But this is like so rich and not see-through. Like, it's so shiny. It really packs a punch. And just looks super vibrant. Alright, look at those colors. So in this palette, at least you can see so far, there's a lot of like cooler tones. There are some greens in here, but I think just sort of straight on, you'll see these are more like pink and purples with a few like other tones mixed in there. So just be aware. And I think you'll probably notice, like, if you look at the swatches online, even like on the lighter skin tone, like this is royalty. When you look online, it looks so much darker than this, but it's not. Like, I'll do a double swatch, try to go over the same area, but still not as deep as the color I'm seeing online. So just be aware that some of these, like this is like their regular jeweled version. This looks like the picture online. But some of these other ones, they're probably not quite as deep in person, especially the more see-through ones. Going to Gloaming, which is another white shade here. Ooh. Don't want to press too hard on that one. It is falling apart. A little bit texture there. Gloaming. I think this is the last one for this arm. Ooh. Another pretty sort of see-through topper shade. This one is very silvery and purple and very shiny. This one I got a lot of kick up out of the pan when I just went like this. I don't know if you can see how kind of crumbly this one is. So some of these, you know, different formulas kind of work differently in the pan. But that is a gorgeous one right here. Not a lot of color behind it, but another really pretty topper. See how we can think of princess when you look at this? On to our last three shades. We have Shard, which is a purple. Cleona has some beautiful purples. And I enjoy a purple, and I just realized I put this on the wrong finger. Alright. That is Shard. That's an interesting purple. I like that. So, when you look at it straight on, it's kind of this, I don't know, there's a lot going on in this shade. Kind of a purple, but brown and pink. A lot of pink in here. Kind of an in-between pink and purple. But it's got some blue in it. It looks very deep online. It's definitely a unique one. I think it actually would go really well with this shade. I cannot line things up. This one, those two, kind of remind me of each other. This kind of a brown behind it, but pink and blue. Very cool, kind of grungy. Alright, last two shades. This is Bloodline and then Oculus. So Bloodline is one of the first newer formulas that came out that I really wanted and like sold out immediately. Now this isn't like this year, this was maybe last year, last couple years. Really unique shade. It's like pink, but also green and gold. Very fun. This probably isn't like a super new shade anymore. Like I think other brands try to do something similar to this, but the richness and shininess of these two are really good. A lot of glitter going on there. And then our last shade is Oculus, and this is like the classic jeweled collection, super vibrant, has black behind it. And this is a very classic multichrome shade, not really unique to this brand, but they do it really well. It's just super vibrant. So we have two like regular classic formulas in this collection, and that is Forge and Oculus. So this is the palette all swatched for you. All-Star Bundle. I really like this palette. It's a lot of fun. A lot of like just really playful and pretty shades. And a couple fun ones. Probably the most dramatic one you'll notice is Oculus, which is this blue-green one here. But super pretty, right? You can see why these are some favorites. I'm happy with all these swatches. I will say a lot of these have a lot of glitter, so you have to be careful. I want to do my original shades that I already owned before I ordered the All-Star Bundle, just so you guys can see them quickly. And I've had these for a while. And so this one is Smolder. This is like a purple to green, but kind of more fuchsia purple, classic shade. And then I also have Flame Blown, which is like a deep purpley blue. So you can see I like purple. And then I also have Luminaire, which is a pinkish white shade. So I will go ahead and swatch these as well, starting with Smolder. A lot of like golds in here. It actually reminds me quite a bit of Forge, but it is different. Always a challenge to see this shift sometimes. And then Flame Blown. Kind of violet, purpley blue. The shift isn't quite as dramatic, but it is like a deeper, like royal purple, classic purple shade. And then Luminaire. It's one of those kind of highlighter-y shades. This is like a really bright pink, but not like as vibrant as the ones in the All-Star Bundle. A little bit more subdued duochrome effect. So those are all my Cleona eyeshadows. Super pretty, right? Great brand. So those were all the swatches. I'm not gonna attempt to do comparisons because I actually don't feel like I have a lot. The only two few that I may have some comparisons are the rich jewel tones, which is Forge and Oculus, like these two here. I'm pretty sure I have something similar, but I will always say that Cleona is pretty incredible, even though they're slow. I say their customer service is still really good. Like if you ask them when your order is, I'm sure they'll respond and tell you like where they're at in the queue. They're not gonna like try to ignore you or anything like that. The challenge for me with like all these exciting shades, I try to like apply as many as possible for you guys, but usually the looks I end up doing when I do that are like really unrealistic to how I would actually wear them. So I really just need to stick to a couple shades and even like use some mattes and pull them out of my collection to really make these looks a little more wearable. So I'm actually gonna pull out my Natasha Denona Trichrome palette. I may use some shades from here, especially some of these purples and greens, to use to kind of set these babies off. While you can totally use like completely all multichromes, I think especially the ones with the black base, they can be a little difficult. So we're gonna make this like a little easier for you guys to follow. I think I want to go a little bit grungy and try out some of these really different shades. So that is gonna be, I think, maybe Shard and Carving. Those kind of weird grungy purple one. I'm actually gonna start with, I keep forgetting these names, Shard right here, and just kind of dig in. I do have a primer on, the MAC Painterly Paint Pop. That is really pretty. I'm just gonna put this on the outer edge. So I will say the more traditional multi-chrome formula they have with like a black base, you can't really blend them out with a brush that easily. They have a lot of impact and shine though. You kind of have to do tapping motions, use a primer or glitter glue, use your finger. But as far as like really blending them out with a brush, you start to get real smoky and that black base shows up, and then like the top layer kind of goes away. So just be aware of that. Little bit of a learning curve with some of the formulas, but this one looks really promising. It's easy to work with. Carving over here. Ooh yeah. Oh boy. I'm getting some fallout, not too surprising. You kind of saw how crumbly some of my swatches were, so not too surprising about the chunky fallout, but oh boy, this is so pretty. Yeah, these pair really well together. So they don't really have palettes with Cleona. It's all individual shadows, and this is my own palette. I believe they do sell magnetic palettes with Cleona, but yeah, they do. They have their own design. But this is like a Makeup Geek one. I'm pretty sure they don't make this anymore. Just a magnetic palette. I mean, there's so many magnetic palettes out there for stuff like this. And what I love about them is I can move them around, change them, switch them out, and I love that so many fit in here. Like, I can fit literally 16 and it really maximizes all the space. It's awesome. And just like perfect travel size. Shard and Carving go well together, like really, really well. And honestly, these shades are pretty chill. Like, they are nighttime, they are a little bit deeper, and you know, you have a lot of shine here. Not necessarily something I would wear to work, but if this is your style, like, no one would blink an eye at these colors, like, even in an office, to be honest. Like, they're pretty, and they're like a really kind of a neutral wearable shade, even though we've got some shift happening. So I think, I mean, that's really cool. All right, I do want to blend these out just a little bit. Yeah, you can soften those edges without any repercussions. Okay, I do want to use some sort of matte or something. Let's try Tungsten from the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. It's like this mauve shade. And I might be totally off on this one, but we'll see. It's definitely going to make things a little more purple. You could go more brown, get a little smokier. But I wanted to add some richness without making it too deep. Actually, I think this is nice. It definitely makes everything a little more on the purple side. I mean, look at the intensity of this look with 3 eyeshadows, right? And you could get, I might do that. I might get one of these wet. And let's get Carving wet. Oh yeah. It turns like metallic. Doing it wet, you can see like more of that blue tone coming out of carving. Super pretty. I look like I'm gonna go to the club now that I made that wet. Just gonna say that right now. I just got some stuff on my nose. Yeah, this is definitely to the next level. Woo. All right, I think I'm done with the eyeshadow. I think definitely enough eyeshadow right there. Wow, well this has been a lot of fun to put together. I really need to clean things up just a little bit and fix up my mascara, do a little bit of eyeliner, fix up my lips, and I will be right back. Alright, this is the final look with the Clionadh Cosmetics Multichrome formula with shades featured from the All-Star bundle. I'm really happy with this look. I think it's a little bit romantic with all the purple, but the splash of blue shift in the inner corner makes it a little more interesting, have a little more depth, and makes it super sparkly. You could definitely turn down the sparkle and do a little bit less, apply it all dry, and just have something really pretty and shiny without all that crazy reflect. I did wet the carving shade so it looks super blue right now, but it's a lot of fun, really pretty, and honestly to me like a really wearable look, but I think this would be hard to exactly duplicate, to be honest, without having this exact formula. You can find similar colors, you can absolutely create a similar look, but the ease of these shadows, the intensity that you get with very little effort is hard to beat, in my opinion. Even among like a really widespread, large brand, I think they would have a hard time recreating a formula like this. So I just really like it. It's fun. All this makeup is just reminds me that makeup is supposed to be fun and enjoyable and playful and a creative activity that is supposed to be enjoyable. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts on Cleona. What's your experience with them? Have you thought about trying them? Are on the fence? Don't know what to get? If you have any questions about any of the shades I have swatched, let me know. As far as like what colors go well with what skin tone, hard for me to say for sure. I think obviously the deeper jewel tone shades are gonna show up on a lot of people because they have black behind it, and it just really shows up and is shiny. So I think a lot of people are gonna be able to wear these and you're gonna see them. Honestly, I think you're gonna be able to see all these shades because they're high shine, and although the color behind them may show up differently on people's skin, the shine usually is there. Like you're gonna have something reflective on your eyes no matter your skin tone. But of course certain colors are gonna show up a little better if you have gold or pink, purples. That it's a personal preference. Some of these have more pink in them than others. But there's a lot of color stories in Cleona. I know a lot of this is purple, but this isn't like a predominantly purple brand or anything. They do have more earthy colors like oranges and yellows and golds and greens and all that wonderful stuff. This brand has all of that as well, if that's more your style. But this palette, these colors make me really happy. That's all I have to say. Sorry for the long video. Really excited to finally get to be able to put this look together for you. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.